I mean, my first year, I walked into Wilbur Johns, the athletic director. Coach Eggstrom, Dr. Eggstrom, is going to Japan on a sabbatical, and he suggested I come in here and apply for the coaching job. And I want to play in the '64 Olympics, so I can't take a salary. And he jumped up and said, "Congratulations, son, you're hired." And that's how I was hired. He says, "By the way, your budget is $100. That's how I got my start.
And it was loud, and it was fun, and it was...
We had to fight for every win, every point, and we were really close as a team.
So I think when we got there and actually won it, we knew that we won it because we had dedicated ourselves to
the national champions in men's soccer, you know, it's a tremendous feeling.
I was overwhelmed with so many emotions, and all my teammates flooded onto me.
I thought to myself, well, here it is. Just go as hard as you can at the goal, and maybe something good will happen.
That is probably my most memorable moment.
There was no high school volleyball. There was no college volleyball, with the exception of a few colleges. So in '65, my third year of coaching here, we won a USA Volleyball Collegiate Championship. But the biggest crowd we had to watch a volleyball match was a couple of hundred in the men's gym and folding chairs up to that point. But we were looking for more. We were looking to make it an NCAA sport. The Japanese men and women were traveling to Brazil in December, and that they were going to stop over in Los Angeles on the way back for one night. I contacted the president of USA Volleyball, who contacted the Japanese president, and they decided to put Japan up for an extra night. I talked to J.D. Morgan, our athletic director. I told them we could play in Pauley if they didn't charge USA Volleyball any money. We'd have a triple header, and all the proceeds would go to UCLA Athletic Department. So we got SC to play us. That was the first match of the night. The second match was the gold medalist Japanese women, who were still intact and touring in '65. Well, this thing was building. People were actually sending in checks for tickets. Third match of the night was the USA men versus the Japanese men. Now, the USA men had never beaten the Japanese. The Japanese took a silver medal in Tokyo in the Olympics. So we started the match. Now, J.D. Morgan, our athletic director, was in attendance. J.D. had never seen a volleyball match except for the armed services matches he played in. So he had no idea what volleyball was. What he liked, there were 5,000 paying customers watching this match. The biggest crowd in USA history to watch a volleyball match up to that time. The men's match went, as I recall, 4 games. We didn't get any bad calls that night. In fact, we beat the Japanese for the first time. So when that was over, J.D. Morgan came up to me. I was still on the floor, and he says, "Al, we're gonna make this an NCAA sport." Having that triple header at Pauley Pavilion is probably my most memorable moment.